one thing that I think is really something that's a clear statement is that, there's something wrong with our major media on the planet Earth. They lied to us about Frank Sturgis. They lied to us about Thane Caesar. They lied to us about 9/11. Well, what good are they? Why do we listen to them? I mean, it's clearly, our major media is clearly broken. I mean, we need a new major media. We shouldn't be listening to the major media that exists, to CNN, to the television, ABC, CBS, NBC, to New York Times or LA Times or the Post or the Journal or anything. We should pretty much be rejecting everything they say, I think, because, they lied to us about Sturgis, they lied to us about Thane Caesar, they lied to us about 9/11. I mean, is there something honest that they ever have said? Maybe we don't have much choice. But I think, the point is that find some major media, or find some media outlets that are telling the truth, that are telling you the truth about 9/11. Well, 9/11's a perfect example. Well, who is saying that it probably was an inside job, or the evidence points to an inside job? Who's telling you about Thane Caesar? Chances are that those people are going to be more concerned with the truth than the major media companies are. And you ought to be looking to them for the news. For example, there's not a lot of examples out there, but on the web there are people who are telling the truth about 9/11. Well, I think, I'm one of those examples of, telling the true truth, the true news. And, I hope that this tradition grows and that we eventually, take away the audience for this corrupted, dishonest multimedia who just does nothing but lie about everything that's ever happened. I mean, the big major events of our history, the JFK murder, the RFK murder, probably the Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, why wouldn't they? It would be the exception if they didn't lie about the Martin Luther King murder. So many murders out there. Clearly the major media has lied about. So to me, I think it spells the picture of, hey, turn off the major media. Those people are, they're nothing but lies, as far as I can see. Or, watch it, but know that most of it is probably dishonest. It's terrible, though. I think also, potentially, as accessories to many murders after the fact, before, during, and after, I think there ought to be penalties for all those people involved for misleading the public and participating in a cover-up of murders. They knew what happened, and they purposely, they knew through the Pupin camera thought network, and they purposely misled people for money, and that's illegal. It's accessory to homicide after the fact. It's definitely illegal, and probably for good reason. We want to punish people who who participate in helping murderers get away with their murder of innocent people. So I think those are all things to think about. Another, I think, important point about major media is, all their news, all we care about is the stuff that comes out of our government. All the stuff that's filtered from the 9/11 calls, all the stuff that, comes from the, hospitals and so on, Basically, it's really simple what those people do. And the amazing thing, all the news source comes from our government. You need to open up all the info in our government, so we can see what these police are doing, what they're, who they're arresting, what the district attorney is, who they're charging. That's basically what the news is. It's very straightforward and simple. I mean, a lot of the news, a vast majority from the major media comes from AT&T, basically from watching people in their houses, from watching their thoughts. That's where I think I have to say the vast majority. I mean, you could even start really with the morgues and guarantee that, all information of deceased people is made public, so who's being killed, or who died, in quotes. Perhaps even more importantly, they lied to us about Pupin. Isn't that ridiculously dishonest?